Hey, it's Rebecca with Rainnail Studio, and today I'm just going to teach you how to do an acrylic fill. If you are a beginner nail tech, I want you to know there is no right or wrong way of doing nails. The important thing is that you have good structure, really clean prep, and that you are providing safe and sanitary services for your clients. All right, let's get into the fundamentals. So first things first, I push back my cuticles and then I go in with my medium sanding band to lightly remove any natural oils or dead skin / cuticle from my natural nail plate. This will also help remove any lifting that may have occurred and of course thin out the acrylic that you currently have on so that your nails don't look too bulky once you apply your acrylic. Here you can see I'm trimming any cuticle that I can. This is a painless step, so just practice. And then you want to make sure that your nail plate is dehydrated. So I use Young Nail Swipe. I've used it for the last 3 years and it just works. So you want to make sure that when you wipe your nail that it pretty much looks, dry, or it should whiten or lighten up a little bit. Here I'm applying primer, and my top tip, my number one thing is to not flood your cuticle area. Okay, you want to make sure that you get it just on the natural nail, because when you lay your acrylic down, the acrylic is going to sit on top of wherever that primer is. So you want to make sure it's not touching your skin, nor that it is flooded, because then you'll have lifting in about 2 to 3 days. And my next tip is to make sure that your liquid to powder ratio is on point. This also takes practice. You can see here that my bead was a bit dry, so it wasn't dragging down the way I needed it to. But you can also see that I did not flood my cuticle area with the acrylic. And what I've learned is that you can always build the nail, and then finish filing will take care of any bulkiness or thickness. So just practice. Here I am making sure that my sidewalls are completely covered and sealed with acrylic, because if they are not, you will have lifting and you will have breaks. My next tip is to utilize gravity. So when you apply your acrylic, you want it to flow naturally along with patting it down. So make sure that your finger is at an angle. That way you don't have to work too hard or that you flood your cuticle area. You just want to make sure that you have a smooth nail. You want to make sure that your entire nail plate is covered so that you don't have any lifting or breaks. Here I am just sharpening up the shape and sealing my sidewalls. I go in with a 100 grit first, and then to just kind of smooth it out, I use the 180 side. I don't use anything lower just because I feel like those 80/80s are too aggressive. So the 100, 180 is a happy medium for me. And one thing I need you to always take into account is that you are not filing the client's skin. You always want to make sure that you are only touching the acrylic, because you can cut your client with a nail file. So just please be mindful and be careful. And like I said, do what's best for you. This is the grit that I like to use. It's where I'm comfortable. So if you need to know, it's 100, 180. For finish filing, my first step is to go in with this fine carbide bit. And with this particular bit, it just helps me remove any bulk along with sealing the cuticle area. Now you want to go in with this particular bit with a light hand, because if not, you will have divots in your acrylic, which will defeat the purpose of you building the nail the way we just did. So this is simply for sealing and removing any thickness. This here is a fine cuticle bit, and I'm going in at the free edge just to get everything even and remove any thickness, because when I was building the nails, because my beads were so dry, they did start to get a little thick at the free edge. Next, I'm going in with my sanding band, and this is my second to last step before I get to buffing. This is my preference. This helps me get a more smooth finish before I have to buff. And if I do have any lumps from using that fine bit, this usually takes care of it. So this is the same bit I used before, but now I'm using it at 5 RPMs just to get everything nice and smooth. All right, once I am finished buffing and everything looks nice, smooth, and even, I go in with my swipe and no lint wipe again just to make sure that everything is dust free and clean. And then they are ready for top coat, designs, or polish. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. Don't forget to subscribe. Again, my name is Rebecca, and I hope to see you soon.